option alerting that that I do for members. However, I'll cover some day trading as well and some swings. The most recent ones I have myself alerted in a chat room. The reason I say I alerted is because we all have a different names. I can use the terminology that Faisal or Paul may not use, and just wanted to clarify what it is. Okay, let me just start the slideshow. It will be only 4 slides, actually two main ones, and we'll just go through. Guys, sometimes you can see myself using the scaling in and scaling out the position and maintaining the stop loss. And sometimes you may see us saying use the manual stop or auto stop. With options, obviously we can't use stop losses, so we need to look at the chart. With day trading, when we day trade in low float stocks, stops are important. However, sometimes if you use the hard 4% stop, then you may be shaken out, because a lot of market makers, if there is a heavy volume on a stock, they may shake you out just because they know where people keep stops, right? So the entry, when we alert entry above some kind of resistance, it has to be your gospel. You enter above the resistance. You don't enter at resistance is equal to the number. You have to enter above the resistance. So entering the trade, we all have to remember about the entry. And entering the trade, you have to. There is no other way around it. You have to have a risk tolerance, exit strategy, so you know how much you're risking. Obviously, if your portfolio is $10,000, you don't want to put $10,000 in a trade, right? So you have to be responsible, and you have to be wise, right? Because the penny stocks, we may swing. We don't know if what's going to happen. So you want to manage your risk, right? And the targets. We provide targets. So target number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and the rule is that you unload a batch, like 50% of the position at the target 1, and you shift your stop accordingly. Okay, so if your risk tolerance is wide open, let's say if you want to risk 7% of your position, then at entering the target 2, you may keep your stop loss at slightly below the initial entry, because sometimes what stock does, they you may get your first target, and the second target will be reached after they shake people out before the first resistance point. So sometimes shifting stop is a tricky job, because you have to look at the tape, look at the volume, what if there is demand, if there's how the tape looks like. Okay. So these are a few alerts that I have recently alerted to members, and I'll start with. They may not be too sophisticated, but some people may. If you're just a beginner, those alerts may not be too clear for you as far as options, obviously. Example number 1, it says that I bought a small AMD, put $20.50, expiry at 12/7, stop at the right shoulder, top at 136. Now, chart is here. So what I did, just to kind of show you, let me just grab that screen, I'll pull it over here. So AMD. We'll go AMD. We'll dissect AMD. Alert came in where the purple line is. All right. So we alerted the stock on a 2-hour time frame. When you look at the 2-hour, I have noticed the head and shoulder formation with a nice, beautiful neckline on a two-hour chart. So we basically alerted to buy puts when the stock was over here. So it was topping off, okay? But it didn't have the steam. Most of you can identify the candle here on the top at the 2177 pivot point. The candle here is some kind of like a hanging man formation. So it's like inverted hammer on the top. So inverted hammer on the top is a hanging man formation. So we have a vertical line here where we alerted that. The reason why we alerted that is that we noticed that negative divergency on some lower indicators, and the price was going up, and the indicators were basically diverging down. So this is why we alerted puts. And when we take a look at the alert, that the initial alert we sent, small 2050 expired 12/7. The stock actually went down to 17, this is November 16th, so this is where we alerted, and the stock actually went down to $17. We have, I got, honestly, I got shaken out a little bit, so we sold it for pretty much break even, and the order skipped my 1-1 contract, and actually we unload, I and some members too, because I got some emails, they unload, but potential was for 500 to 800%, but we only got 121. So if you trade options like that and you enter options, you have to keep in mind that depending on what expiry date we take, we need to take a few things under consideration. What's the how much time we have before options expire, and there are some other features like how much open interest it is and all those fancy features under options, but the most important it is for you is, and I try to when I send alert, I try to generate the link. So I'm gonna go like this, take a snapshot, and it will generate the image URL. So basically when you get an email or text message, you can go basically copy, and I go here and I can paste and go, and you as a member, you're gonna see something like this. So I think that something like this is very simple, and even for people who don't have too much trading experience, they can make some money. And I usually try to alert people where I unload, but like I said, with options, and if it's a very liquid stock and the stock is moving, you have to at least draw some support and resistance. You are, and you know how to scale out batches. So what does it mean to scale out? It means that you sell portions of the positions and you shift stop accordingly, okay, writing the chart. So that's why it's kind of helpful for you guys to at least use some moving averages. So 2050, 200, and some maybe exponential moving averages like maybe 10 or 8, just to kind of see where you are. Okay, so this would be that alert number 1 in options. Um, let's see what else we have. So AMD November 136, we sold it at $3, 121%. The next one is I bought 119 call at expiry 12/7 at 150. We'll look. Let's look at the chart here, and there's a link and a stop where the arrow is. I have deleted that arrow, I think, but I kind of prepared where I alerted that. That alert came over here where that purple vertical line is. The reason why I alerted that, there is always reason why we alert stocks. There is no random or there is no guessing. There is always some technicals behind it. So when we take a look at the lower indicators, we need to have at least 2 confirmations on a breakout, right? So when I take a look at the lower indicator here, I can see that the initial breakout came in here where that green vertical line is. So that green vertical line, ideal entry would be here, but there is no confirmation yet. So I look at another lower indicator here that's on balance volume. On balance volume is a momentum indicator. It tells me sometimes if there is a price in the breakout. Some lower indicators may be signaling you the entry or a breakout or a breakdown sooner than the other ones. So the first one in this case was this indicator, RSI, that's Relative Strength Index, and OBV was second, but that was my second confirmation. So I'm gonna go and extend this line. So over here, and we alerted that on this particular line, November over here, November 16th or 17th. And like I said, exit was here. The market wasn't the greatest. That's why I decided to cut off the position. However, I could have stretched it out, and the potential was for 500%. But with options, I have learned that you have to be conservative and you have to be wise about it, especially when the broad market is like what we have right now. And if you trade on the long side and the market is shaky, I mean, there is no stocks that are going to be immune uh, uh, for that kind of situation, the broad market. So if you trade options, you have to have at least open on a separate chart. Okay, there is no other way around it. You have to make sure that you observe, you have to monitor Dow Jones, S&P 500, QQQ, all that stuff. If you trade oil, you have to have oil stock on one chart, and you have to have WTI on a second chart. Okay, there is no way that energy stock is gonna move beautifully while all dropping like 10%. Okay, so we all have to be responsible. So like I said, there is no guesses, there is always confirmation. That's how those alerts work. And in the initial alert, I had an arrow, beautiful, nice and yellow arrow. Sometimes I put smiley face and stuff on it just to make it fun, because trading is fun and easy as long as you follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you're done. Okay, so remember that I believe statistically 92% people that start trading are gonna fail, because they don't follow rules. There is emotions and there is fear and greed. Okay, so this is the example of a day trade and swing alert that I have recently alerted. Like I said, I'm going to be dissecting my alerts because we all have different styles, and we all respect each other, and we all trade slightly different. So like I mentioned before, that we may use different terminology. So what I did here, AC Trader MBRX 163 for 169, and I was like at 117. It was like a few hours later. I was looking at the chart. And I was like, I may scale in MBRX 50% of the position above 157, and I will add another batch above 163 as stated before. So now let's take a look at what happened. MBRX. So this is what happened. I scaled in above 157, okay? And I said I will scale in above 163. So scaling above 157 gave me the peace of mind of unloading before my second entry. So I unloaded at 4% profit, beautiful profit, easy. And this is a 5-minute chart, and above 163 I scaled in another batch, and I kept my stop right at the trend line. And you can see some of the hammer candles here, and a long leg doji here, and never touched the trend line here. So if I had the hard stop, let's see how much pullback did we have from 163. From 160, if I had the hard stop of 5 or even 6%, I would have been shaken out. But I didn't have that. I was observing and I was looking at the trend line. So I strongly recommend you guys at least if you day trade, draw some simple lines, because there is no way for us to predict how market makers and traders are going to react when the price is going up, and that 4%, 5% stop loss like this sometimes may not work. Flexible stop in some cases may work, because this is what it was. It was a beautiful, simple trend line where I said it was stop loss in here. So sometimes, that's why everybody has a different risk tolerance, and you have to follow the rules. If you know that you can't lose more than 7% on the position you entered, if you lose 8%, you take a break. You broke the rules. You follow the rules. You don't follow the rules, you lose money. Okay? So that's beautiful, easy. Like we said, let's repeat. MBRX 163, 169, second scaling 163, top 169. It's textbook, and I'll just make it so nicely and beautiful right now, and I will because I love it so much. It was so easy. I'll even put like a little heart over here for you guys. It's beautiful. It's simple, easy, and basically stress-free. And trend line stop. If you held the stock here for more, you would have been shaken out. Look at this, how ugly that candle is. Okay, so stop loss here, and obviously everybody unloaded here, or should have unloaded here, and it was just a beautiful and peaceful ride for us. And I think there was another alert I mentioned pre-market to all. Pay attention to MTSL today. I noticed some backtest feedback on chart yesterday. I think it may move in coming days. Actually move the same day, looks very coiled, maybe swing if above average volume. The volume was an uptick in volume. It wasn't above average volume, but some members entered. I got tons of emails from people that entered and make good money. And I'm very happy because if you guys make money, that's the best reward for me as a trader and mentor, and I'm pretty sure that other guys, Paul and Faisam, are the same way. That's not about us making money; it's about you guys making money. Okay, so let's take a look at that MTSL. This is why I said I did some back tests. So I drew some lines here, and the first confirmation, actually I got over here on a little breakout on a vertical line. This vertical line, that was my double confirmation. The first confirmation came in when I drew the line on the on-balance volume. So now when you take a look at the chart, you have a price inefficiency. What is price inefficiency? The price inefficiency, my friends, is when we have a chart. Normally it happens in penny stocks because the blue chip stocks are always going to be synced up and aligned. When you have a penny stock, price going down, and on balance volume is going up, is trending up. And another thing is, now when I tell you guys momentum indicator on balance volume, when I tell you guys the stock was trading 5 cents and on balance volume at $6, let me draw the vertical line here. I'm gonna draw the easy, simple vertical line here at 645, boom. I'm gonna extend this vertical line on unbalanced volume, boom, right here. I'm gonna extend this. Now you know that stock uh, over here was stock was $6 over $6 a share, above 6 a share per share. Okay, and on balance volume momentum indicator is lower than actual stock trading now at what $1 per share, but on balance volume is higher. This is called price inefficiency. For me, in Pennyland, price inefficiency is something for me to watch because I'm gonna squeeze, I'm gonna catch that move. And this is how I catch that move. We caught it beautifully. The volume was 0. I knew it's gonna move. So first confirmation, second confirmation, I told you guys, and pre-market we got the beautiful, easy, peaceful move from entry to 254. It went 40%, guys, 40%, easy, peaceful. And let me put this on it, and let me put the beautiful smiley face on it for you. Okay. So that's how I traded, and these are the alerts that I have recently sent, and I'm pretty sure that Faisam is going to take over right now, and he will explain how he alerts swings and how he how he uses his strategy, and how he wants you guys to follow his rules. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. I hope this quick webinar made some sense. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You email me, ac at faizentrader.com. I left my email address here, and you can hit me up on Twitter or StockTwits or in a chat room. Ask away. You know, I'm here for you guys, and that's all I have for tonight. And I'll let care of the rest of his alerts. Okay, thank you very much.